first of all, I just need to get this off my chest. Thank you so much, guys, for all the love and appreciation on my last video, my flat tour. I honestly cannot believe how many of you guys have commented and viewed it. I think at the moment it's on like 40,000 views. I have never ever got 40,000 views. Every day it jumps by like 5,000 and 10,000, and I'm just like, oh my god, like what is going on? It also kind of puts the pressure on a little bit, because now I'm like, right, there are so many of you guys that not only are watching that video but have actually subscribed. As it stands right now, I have 8,500 subscribers. About 2 videos ago, when it was my birthday, I was celebrating 6,000 subscribers. I have jumped so much. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Thank you. I am so grateful. I'm so excited because it just means more and more of you are going to be like joining me on this journey, and so many of you new guys are going back looking at my old videos, my moving in videos, my property talks and my vlogs. I feel like I need to start thinking about, like, you know, a name for you guys. So if you have any suggestions on a name, please comment down below. I really don't know whether it should be something to do with Jade or Vanriel or JV. Whatever your ideas, none of them are going to be silly. And if you are not yet subscribed and you're watching this video, you know what to do. So today's video stems from loads of comments and questions that I've been getting the past few weeks, based off of sharing what my home now looks like. How did you do it, Jade? How did you manage to do all of this in a year on your own budget? You said you didn't have much budget. How did you do it? I've been in my home for 2 years and I've barely done anything. Today I'm talking about how you guys can transform your homes, make your homes beautifully decorated on a budget, a small budget, a realistic budget. I didn't have anyone telling me how to do this. I just sort of figured it out as I went along. I'm quite an organized person. I think that played a really key part and enabled me to do this in a year. The first thing that you guys need, and I have said this over and over again, but if you're new to the channel, I always say grab a notebook. This is very important. First point, you actually do need a notebook. Now, I go on about having had a house notebook when I was viewing, when I was planning, when I was, you know, sending emails and looking for places. I had a notebook that was dedicated to my future house. This same notebook then became my home decor updates kind of notebook. Now, what I did and what you guys really should do is dedicate maybe about 10 pages per room in your home. So for example, kitchen, you've got 10 pages spare. Living room, you've got 10 pages spare. Next, what I want you to do is basically write a list of every single thing you're going to need and every single thing you're going to want per room. My living room, sofa, rug, coffee table, candles, TV stand, shelving, curtains, side table, flowers, like every little detail. The next thing you need to do is you need to prioritize. Now, what I did is I sort of fiddled around and put stars next to the things that were detrimental that I really needed. So a bed, well actually I got a mattress first and then got a bed. For the kitchen, I needed a microwave first because, okay, I might not be able to get the oven yet, but as long as I've got a microwave, I can make microwave food for the next few days or a week. A kettle because I love my teas, I love my herbal tea. So whatever's really important for you when you actually move in, you need to put a star next to those things. Before we move in, we think that certain things are more important until you realize your budget, that can wait, that can wait, that can wait, and then you are really left with the things you need to live on a daily basis. Ideally, you would want to move into a home and the walls are already painted and the flooring's already done. That wasn't the case for me. I moved into my home as it was, cleaned it first, then moved my stuff in, and I still had colourful walls, which you guys have seen. So I painted while I was living in there. I moved in with the horrible flooring. I didn't have the money to buy flooring for the whole flat, just like that, when there were other things that I genuinely actually needed to live. You know, I didn't need flooring to live. Curtains were very important because obviously privacy wise, you need curtains up, but I didn't put curtains up in all rooms. Just the living room and my bedroom had curtains that I actually bought before I moved in. So again, you might want to buy some things before you move in, and I think curtains were very important. First 2 nights here, I had a blow-up bed. That was my dad's, gave that back. I had a mattress. Then we got the base of my bed, and I didn't have a headboard for a few months. That if you go back to some of my videos, you'll actually see that I had no headboard. Was my headboard detrimental? No, it wasn't. The bed was detrimental. The headboard had to wait. I dedicated a tiny bit of money each month to 1 or 2 of those things. So at the beginning, I tried to get as many things as I could in this budget. And I'd say this budget at the beginning of moving in was only about £100, to be very honest. I barely had any money left over after bills, etc. And I was just finding my feet. Now and again, it would go up or down. I wouldn't always spend that 100 if I did not have anything to buy with it. That is another thing. Just because you have the money doesn't mean that you have to spend it and spend it fast. What I really learned during this process was being really thoughtful and smart with my money, because I realized, like, oh my God, this £100, that was gonna, you know, add something great to my home that I needed or wanted. So I had to be really smart with it. So I didn't just go to a shop and, you know, spend it all in one go. I'll give you guys some examples. I wanted 2 bedside tables, mirrored ones. I had wanted these for, again, years, as always. I was looking online. I looked at all sorts of shops like Argos and Next and all these different places online, and my furniture and all of that. And their prices were roughly about £100 to £120 per side table. And I just thought, it's either I buy one this month and one next month, or I save some money back from this month and put that towards next month's budget. So that's the kind of thought process that I had. However, God was on my side, because one day in a vlog as well, I went down to Dunelm, had a look, just window shopping, because I didn't even have £200 to spend at the time. And for some miraculous reason, 2 mirrored bedside tables identical to what I wanted were in the X display section of Dunelm, and that meant that they were both half price. They were 50% off. So I ended up getting them both for just under £100. Now, if I had rushed and ordered online or gone and bought the first thing that I saw, I would have spent more than double. Do not rush into anything. Now, the next point that I want to make is inspiration is so important. I don't recommend going into a shop and just buying things because they look nice, because you don't even know what they're going to look like together. Take some time to visit some websites and browse around. My favorite websites while I was, you know, in the process was house.com, Pinterest, and Instagram. These were like my 3 go-to places that I became very addicted to. I am not going to lie, but I would say it paid off. Look around, look at different things that you like. I knew I wanted a crushed velvet sofa like this, so I would search for crushed velvet sofas on these websites and see how people decorated around them, what kind of tones, patterns, and things went well with that, so that I didn't just order the sofa and order different things all at different times, put it together, and it just looked a huge mess. Inspiration is key. Next, and Laura Ashley and Habitat, they can be quite pricey at times. Do not run in there and just buy all the things you like. One major key I have for you guys is that you can find identical things for half the price in other places. Dunelm, The Range, B&M stores, priced very well and have great trendy things, great accent, just great beautiful things. I mean, you will go to Laura Ashley and Next Home for inspiration and for some of those things that really quality, etc. is key, and maybe other places you've looked around and you cannot find the thing you want. But don't rush into it. Go into stores and see things in person, because I've also found that a lot of things look different online. I have dodged a few bullets. Something in my heart said to me, no, just go into the shop. Harveys, I think it is, they have like different versions of crushed velvet sofas for like double the price. Again. But what I would do is go in there and have a look at it and see what the crushed velvet looked like in person, to actually see if I really did like it. And I did, and I bought it. So look at these stores for inspiration, but at the same time, guys, do not sleep on a cheaper shop. Now, I hate to break it to you guys, but realistically, when you're on a tight budget, there are going to be loads of things that you see that you really want, that you simply cannot afford, no matter how much money you put aside each month. It's just not smart, it's not wise to buy this stuff when they're like £500-600 for a coffee table, for example. Like, in what world is that okay when you could literally split that 500 and get a coffee table, a side table, a vase and flowers, and maybe a picture frame? If it's something you really, really want, then I do recommend saving up for it. But again, there are identical things or better things out there for cheaper. Now, what do you do when you haven't quite got the money, but you really, really want something? One thing I always suggest is put it on hold, leave the store, and think about it, and think about how you can put that money together for it. Or you can simply save towards it and then in a few months buy it. Now, what happens if you're in a store and you see something you really, really want? You want to be in a position to be able to buy it. So whenever you do have a budget each month, I highly, highly recommend not to spend all of it. Just in case you happen to walk into HomeSense and stumble across the perfect set of cushions and you need to buy them because they are perfect and they are cheaper than the ones you've been looking at online for months, and they are better. You need to have the money. Imagine not having that money in your account, and it might not even be a lot of money. It might be like 40, 50 pounds for 2 cushions, which is really, really good, by the way. You have to leave the shop and not buy it. I make sure that if I do happen to go into these stores, I have got something with me just in case. Like, you need to prepare for those impulse buys, because I am not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say everything I've bought has been planned out. That is absolutely not true. The bigger things most of the time have been, but then say my coffee table, I was looking for it and it was far too expensive online, and then a friend of mine stumbled across it in the store. I had to buy it. It was, you know, a good price. I had the money. It wasn't necessarily what I wanted to buy that month, but the thing I did want to buy that month had to be put aside because this was a great bargain. And if I didn't buy it that day, someone else would. HomeSense and TK Maxx is not guaranteed to be there tomorrow, I'm afraid. So when it comes to those two shops in particular, if you see something that you really, really want and you have got the money and you're not going to be eating noodles afterwards, then I do recommend that you buy it. You won't regret it. And remember, if you do regret it, you can always just take it back and get your money back. There will be impulse purchases along the way, and I just want you guys to be prepared for that. Now, this is not for everybody. However, I think that everybody should try this at one point because the satisfaction that you get afterwards is just impeccable. And I'm talking about DIYing and upscaling furniture or accessories for your home. I've done a few things here and there. I've done my TV stand. You know, I found this old, not very nice looking wooden TV stand outside my building, and I was looking on Gumtree for something identical. I have a video on that if you guys are interested and want some inspiration. Go and watch that. I'll leave it down below. I have also DIY'd a mirror. It was my nan's old bathroom mirror and I knew I wanted to have it in my home somehow, but I needed to change the style of it. I have changed my worktop. I DIY'd that, guys. It was not grey when I moved here. It was light wood. And again, I'm not necessarily a wood lover in my home, so I painted it grey. To change that worktop, that would have definitely been over £1,000, and I simply could not justify spending that kind of money when I had just moved into my flat. I needed a bed, needed a sofa. There was nothing really wrong with it. It was just not the colour I wanted. So why not temporarily paint it? And I'm not saying it will stay like that forever, but right now I have no problems with it. I can change the colour if I wanted to, and I am actually thinking about changing it to a slightly lighter grey, but you see, it's not permanent. DIYing is really, really up my street personally, just because the satisfaction that you feel afterwards, knowing that you transform something from nothing into something amazing. When someone comes into your home and they notice that and they're like, oh, where did you get this from? It's so nice. And you're like, well, actually, I painted my walls myself. I didn't pay anyone to do my walls, and I know that I saved a lot of money. I'm not a professional, you know, painter. I've Googled a few tips here and there, and I've taken my time, and it's not even finished. I still have another coat or two to do, but the fact of the matter is, how hard can painting really be? Like, realistically, guys, white paint the whole house. I'm not doing wallpaper. I'm not painting one wall grey and having a feature wall. I'm literally painting every single wall the same color, no designs, no nothing. How hard can it be? So for me, it was It was not even a thought in my mind to pay anyone to paint. I knew that I was gonna paint this place. Now I know that's not for everyone, but just saying, if you're on a tight budget, the last thing you should be thinking about is paying someone else to paint your home, and you will save hundreds of pounds. So there are just little things here and there that you guys really should think about before you just jump into it, because I know naturally for loads of people, you just think, right, I need to get someone to paint, right, I need to get someone to put this light up, a whole new kitchen. You know, I didn't buy a whole new kitchen. I literally changed all of the doors to nice white gloss ones and bought handles and then painted the worktop. Someone even commented like, oh, where did you buy your kitchen from? And I literally laughed. I bought doors and stuff from like a local place, but me and my dad screwed those on. You know, I painted the worktop. No one lifted and stuck my worktop in. It was the old original one that I painted. You might want to see if parents or anyone have spare things. My dad bought this new washing machine for one of his new properties for someone that was renting it, and in the end the person came with their own washing machine, so he had a spare one, couldn't take it back. He had already used it one day to test it out. So I was just like, all right, Dad, let's bargain, you know, I'll take it off you, how much for? And I saved money, like maybe not loads, but I saved something rather than going out to the shops and paying for it full price. My dishwasher was actually my nana's dishwasher before she passed, and my dad had it in storage, and I said, Dad, I need a dishwasher, do you know where I can get one for a good price? And he rolled up with my nan's dishwasher, and it fits perfectly in the gap I had left after the washing machine. There might be things around your home where you are now. Do you live with your parents? Are there spare things that you could take? And you might not keep them forever, but for temporary reasons, while you're gaining your balance and building your foundations, trust me, you will not be that bougie to turn down a free gift or to turn down, you know, a temporary kettle or toaster. Like, I know we all want our things, but that should just encourage you to say, right, I'm putting money away each month so I can get my thing and then swap it around. So those are some of my tips for furnishing your home on a budget. You have got to be strict, you have got to be organized, and you do occasionally, most of the time, have to say no to yourself, but eventually you can, you know, treat yourself and buy the thing that you really want. It takes time. I have said this so many times, but it takes time, guys. Don't think it's going to be perfect a month in. Now looking back, think that is the beauty of owning your own home or moving into a home that is empty and unfurnished. The beauty is that you learn so much. You can create something to the best of your ability that you want. You know, you haven't got things left in here that you have to work around and say, oh well, I have to use this because it's here. It's a blank canvas. Like, this was minus blank, this was purple and orange and yellow, but then it became a blank canvas, and then you make it your own. Enjoy the process. There's going to be times where you might want to cry because you can't get something you want. I've cried. If you are going to take a chunk out of your money, just know that you will then have to sacrifice in other areas. I'm really enjoying these home decor videos, and I'm going to be doing more for you guys. I have some really fun videos coming up. I need a name for you guys, so comment down below and let me know what you want me to do for the 10K celebration. Please do subscribe so you can follow us on this fun, crazy journey. Love you guys so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!